Hey, so quick update here. I didn't do a live stream tonight or anything because we already discussed this earlier on my last update video. This does, on the 4 hour, or on the hourly rather, kind of look like an inverted head and shoulders where the bounce, next link, but you're missing out on the big dump and it doesn't really fit that well. Now, looking at the different Stoke models, that's interesting. We are turning extraordinarily potentially bullish with the daily Stoke reversal. That's like astronomically bullish. Meaning the next push up, right? So if you look at the 4 hour model, we're dropping down on the 4 hour. I got out of my short-term trades because of this 4 hour reversal. I said I'll get back into trades when we get down to the bottom. I have a feeling we're going to be bouncing in 7, 8 hours. So I'm going to go to sleep now. And the question is, am I going to wake up? Like when I woke up, was it this morning or yesterday? We had already bounced up enough. Or no, I had woken up like after I'd gone to sleep. I got up at like 5 a.m. or whatever for a minute. And then I got into trades, and then I sold before we came down. We're going to make the same sort of move here. So I knew we'd get stuck in this little sideways circle, but at this point, with the way the daily chart is looking, we have support all the way at the bottom of the cloud. I don't know that we're getting down all that far, though. Let me look at the other majors really quick. So we pretty much reached the local bottom because there's a support here on the Stoke. So Ethereum is turning up on the daily. BCH is nice and low. Let's just run through my list of alts and just see. Some of them have been already reversed because the alts aren't really synced up right now with the majors. But if you look at like OMG is about to start a massive pump. My last OMG trade was a 50% breakout. Is that what I made on it? I remember. You guys remember? Or 25%, sorry. I sold this like exactly at the top. I sold this and said, all right, we're about to correct, and then we just dumped. So that was a really great trade. When I got into this trade, I predicted it based on the bullish reversal on the daily model. I didn't get back in at this bottom because we were going sideways and we weren't really bouncing yet. But that creates bullish divergence. I think OMG is going to make a very aggressive push when we reverse. See? You got the bearish trend here on the price action. Bullish uptrend here on the Stoke, trending up. So that was bullish divergence, and then sure enough, we started coming back up. Now, that move back up, we haven't really lost that much. We had a pretty big move up, right? Remember I always say when we have a clear repetitive cycle like this, and you get a big move up and then a smaller move down, that creates an uptrend. Big move up, small move down. Big move up, small move down. That creates an uptrend, right? Think of it like this. Big move up, small move down. Big move up, small move down. Big move up, small move down. And if you draw the support, trend line support from that, right, that's going to create an uptrend, right, like that. So the initial bounce was a decent size, and then this correction, right, as the Stoke came back down and we got down to these lower levels to reset, it didn't require nearly as much price action reset as far as on that correction to reset the Stoke. I think OMG is gearing up for a really, really big move. Now, it's sitting right on the 99 EMA on the 4 hour, but I think she may come back a little further. So I'm not going to make any moves. I mean, this daily model turning up like this, look at the last time OMG had a daily model in oversold territories turn up. It was 162% pump. Right? So I'm not saying it's going to be 162%, but I think we're going to see a really aggressive move. Probably, very likely, we can hit $16 on this OMG pump, which would constitute a 60% run. That's very, very likely to break that prior top. We could end up with a double top at 1550 and come back down hard, but still, that's a really big profit on the way up. So it's certainly worth a trade. I'm considering potentially just jumping in now with like a small position. That'll be like a longer term hold where I don't worry about the constant up and downs. If I were to do that, I would say if I were to buy in right around here, I don't know if I would even set a stop loss on it. I would just sort of use a smaller amount of capital so I'm okay risking it, but not have a stop loss. Because we may dump down to the 222 EMA here. We could have two really bad red candles, get all the way to the 222 and bounce, just like here. One of the reasons I was able to get into this trade so well was because we bounced on the 99 EMA, one of my key Ichimoku dynamic supports, part of my Ichimoku model, right? Get those big bounces when we get to these, just like over here, 99 EMA, boom. So we had this big bounce. That was a really great precision trade. And then look at the bottom here. We bounced right on the 222. The only reason I didn't enter down there is because the Stoke was a little bit confusing here. We were just in this stuck in this sideways Stoke cycle, and we weren't getting a clear full wave structure. Now we have that full wave back in action. I really, really like how this is gearing up. So we could dump all the way to the 222. That's kind of why I'm thinking if I buy a small position now, maybe I'll wait. I don't know. I'm going to sleep. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to upload it and then go down and crash. So, I don't know if I'll be up long enough to really let it reset and then buy in lower. For a short-term trade, I'm going to wait until the 4-hour model turns back up, right? The hourly Stoke here was great. This repeatable, this consistent repeating pattern. Over here we don't really have that, so it's harder to say short term. We might also hold at this 955 support, although that was an older support from here and this bottom, and it's not really holding very well in this range. We do have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders here now that I'm looking at it, right? We got shoulder, head, shoulder. So this could be the start of a new cycle up, in which case we have a wave 1. This is now the wave 2 correction, and we're looking at that next wave would be wave 3. Well, let's see, because remember I mentioned we could potentially get all the way up to those higher levels. Let's see. If I do a fib extension from here, if that's wave 1, and wave 2 comes down to, say, the horizontal support, that could put the next bounce from that support 33% run potentially, because remember wave 3 is usually goes to that 1618 Fibonacci extension. I might share this video publicly because I haven't shared any of my general update videos publicly, at least detailed ones from my computer. But for those who are in the group, public people obviously don't have access to this, but for those who are in Flux Trading Group, if you're a premium and you have access to Flux University, under I forgot which section it's in. It's in either indicators. I think it's under indicators under the technical analysis section, where I break down using Fibonacci extension tool. It's a really great tool because it gives you super precise potential targets if you're doing, especially if you're doing Elliott wave, because it'll give you an idea of where that extended fifth could go or that wave 3 could go to the 1618 extension. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I'm not saying that's necessarily my wave count. In the case of like sushi, for instance, in this case, my most recent analysis, where I did my most recent Elliott wave count, so far is actually holding up really well. I said we got in down here at the bottom, and if you look at the daily, you'll see we bounce really close to the bottom of the cloud. Well, we bounced on the cloud this time. I got in right on the 99 EMA. So once we establish support at that key Ichimoku dynamic support at the 99 EMA, that's when we got in. Well, this is maybe, 4 or 5 nights ago on the live stream with the premium group. Got in there, established support of the 55, launched from there. Once we're above the top of the cloud, which we are now, top of the cloud's a really strong support. So I'm pretty confident. That's why in this case I was just showing you how wave 3, it's very common to hit that 1618 extension. That's why I have an 80% run planned out for sushi, short term. Well, not short term, it's midterm, because this is going to take a week or two, but we may aggressively push up to those levels relatively soon. So that's just a good example of if you get that a good Elliott wave count, you can anticipate a potential wave 3 target using the fib extension. So fib extension is a really hopeful tool. So again, I really, really like OMG. I think OMG is primed to make one of the larger moves out of the various trades I may get into. Just running through some of the other alts in my list. What I'm looking for here is I would really like to find the alts that have a 4-hour reset on the Stoke. First of all, I don't want it to be one of these where it's just kind of zigzagging back and forth. I want to find a Stoke that has a clear wave structure up and down, and I want to get in down low as the majors reset, because Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to start breaking out within the next 12 hours. I want to find an altcoin that's going to be resetting around the same time. It looks like OMG is going to do it. So OMG is definitely a trade that I really, really want to get into. See, like, Cody is still overbought, so it's not really going to line up that well. Vet Neo are not too bad. ETC, my original long-term trade, I had taken profit up high, but the rest of that position from that long-term entry that I'm still holding is up 200% now. I'm going to keep holding that because look at all the support. 55 EMA, my key support. So I would buy on the rebound, not after we're still going down here. Now that we're bouncing and we're back above this trend line on ETC, let me show you. There's the trend line, right? So he broke that trend line. I think ETC is going to continue running hard. Let me see what that daily looked like. Oh, look at that daily bullish reversal on the Stoke. Oh, I should have doubled down. I should have got into a much bigger position here on this bounce. This bounce is going to continue. Absolutely. The 4-hour is still pretty high and has to reset. It's going to be tough to find an ETC short-term entry, but she's absolutely going to break out hard with that daily reversal. That daily reversal is so bullish. The other alts pretty much line up on the daily. So we're going to see some really aggressive bullish action over the next week or two. Well, not two. It's going to be that daily reversal would probably take 5 to 10 days. So I'm expecting an aggressively bullish cycle for 5 to 10 days. As far as which trades I'm going to get into, besides the ones I already talked about, I'm probably not going to share that publicly. That'll just be for people in Flux trading group. But I might share I might do a couple charts and share those publicly. But, look at UNI. You can see the 55 EMA. That's my Ichima dynamic support. That's the beauty of my Ichima model. If you guys don't have it yet, if you go to indicators, just type Ichima like that, ICHEMA, you will see this one, Ichima Dynamics with EMAs for Darth Crypto. Jesse S. Feinberg, that's me, 1,400 installs. That's it. And it includes the 55, the 99, the 222 EMA, and then it has 20, 61, 20, 30, which are the settings that I pre-configured for the Ichimoku Cloud. So it'll give you my main 3 lines, the red, the blue, and the yellow, which are all really important dynamic support. So when you come down, imagine if you bought UNI every time it hit the 55. If you bought right here on that bounce, profits. If you bought on this bounce, profits. You bought on this bounce, profits. Eventually, it's going to fail, and then the next dynamic support, the 99 in the top of the cloud in the same place, would be the key support. But I don't expect that to happen on UNI since we just started a new turn up. And then you also have to add the Stoke with the settings 5, 3, and 3. 5, 3, 3 for KD and Smooth. And that's the Stoke indicator, not Stoke RSI. So once your charts look like mine, you'll know what to look for. And for people who aren't in the group, I'll share a freebie or something. Maybe I'll do a video with a quick analysis and share a couple of my trade ideas, 1 or 2. But yeah, some of these are going to be making big moves. So far, OMG is definitely going to be along the top of the pack. And I will spot which other ones are looking like they're primed for that big of a run. Oh man! Oh, VTHO looks so good. VTHO, I made 2,000% on, so I did 20x on her. She can make a really nice move here. There was really strong support in this range, and she's holding right at the 99 EMA in the bottom of the cloud. This would have been the perfect time to buy. 55 or the 99 EMA in the bottom of the cloud would have been an incredible entry right there. I should have bought if I only spotted it. And there was the doji too. That candle is a really strong reversal candle. So this is an example like with OMG. With OMG, I might be more inclined to wait it out a bit. But for VTHO, I think I might just buy here. If I buy here, I'm not going to set a stop loss 15% below my entry. So when I do this on longer term trades, I'm not going to use a stop loss, which is unlike me. Most of my trades, I have a stop loss because I'm all about risk management. However, with longer term trades, something that's either long term or mid term, where I'm willing to hold it for up to a week, potentially multiple weeks or months, sometimes I'll do that and I won't set a stop loss because I'm comfortable long-term accepting the risk that we're definitely going to go much higher. And if it does happen to come down, I'm using much less capital. I'm not putting in nearly as much money as I would in a short-term trade with a 2% stop loss. So I'm comfortable risking the amount that I'm putting in. But we're getting to new highs on this. I think this next push could take us potentially up to new highs. The weeklies reset quite a bit as well. I really, really like VTHO here. Once we break up enough, I could set a stop loss below the horizontal potentially. We'll see. Initially, I think I'm going to get into a long-term bag now and just not set an SL. I have a little bit left in my original position where I'm up 1,500%. I sold most of it. But not enough. Like, I definitely want to get more because I think we're going to break out nicely here. Looks like there's another trend. If I look shorter term, you can see on the 4-hour here, there's another trend line. Look at that, right? Perfect. Kept getting rejections. Take a look at the hourly. She's getting close again to breaking above, or at least to retesting that trend line. She's riding along it here. Once she gets above this trend line, I think she's going to make a really aggressive move up. You know what? I'll buy a little bit now. And then if she does get lower, if she gets below this horizontal support at 13,460, if she drops below that, I can buy more. And then I'll lower my average entry price. And if she doesn't, and she pushes up above this trend line resistance, I'm going to buy enough of it now where I'll be fine holding. And then if I happen to get a notification when she breaks that resistance trend, I might just add to that position and buy some more. Because I feel like once she breaks that trend line is going to be the breakout indicator I'm looking for. There's still another trend line coming down here she's going to have to break. But the initial one is the more important one as far as the short-term charts are concerned. Based on the daily, I think getting back above the cloud, she skyrockets up to probably 3 cents. Very possibly, probably pretty likely all the way up to 3 cents. Alright, well, I'm going to do that. So that's one trade for you. As soon as I finish this video, I'm not going to do it right now, but I will enter VTHO, mid to long-term hold, no SL initially. And then once we break out, I'll do a stop loss. And you know what? If she happens to dump and it gets to a new low, I'll probably just sell it and take the small loss on it because I'm not putting too much capital in. So even if I lose 15%, I'm not going to be losing a huge amount of money because I'm putting in probably 25, 30% of the amount I would put into a short-term trade. Then again, I'm also talking about much larger gains because instead of making 10, 15, 20% on the trade, I could potentially make 400, 500, 800, 1,000%. Let's see. All right. I already spotted a couple others that look incredible. So I think, man, I haven't updated my dot chart for the group. This is one of my big long-term plays. We got into this trade in the group at the end of April. And got the initial great breakout run. Came back and reset a bit. And now she's really flying up 45%. I think DOT is going to be a big, big, big mover too. So if you're not in DOT at this point, it's pumped a little bit. It might not be the best time to get in, but looking at these, there are, man, SUN, CHZ, VTHO, OMG. Those are my top 4 so far that I've seen. I haven't looked through my entire watch list. Since I'm going to share this video publicly, I'll probably just call it a day on that. And then as I go through the rest of the charts and I spot anything that looks like they could be particularly bullish, I'll do a separate video for the premium group or for my VIP group. Ooh. baby. Big rejection, big support, brief break, back up to that level, holding at the 99 EMA as the Stoch's turning up. Teasing a break above this trend line here. That's a tough call. OGN is definitely looking interesting, though. Look at this XRP. Like I said, if you were to just buy when it hits the 55 EMA here, or here, huge potential bounce zones when it gets to each of my dynamic supports. Really simple model, incredibly accurate analysis. It's really amazing. Such a simple, basic model. How successful you can be once you know how to harness it. I got a lot more charts to go through. Some of these things are gearing up for a big run, so I will potentially share one or two of them publicly, and for everybody else in the group, just stay tuned. I'll let you guys know in Discord when I'm getting ready to make some more moves. All right, that's it for now. I just want to run through everything. Hopefully that's clear enough. Everybody knows what I'm expecting. I'm really confident. The chances of a dump from here are fairly low. So I talk about my data analysis model all the time. I call it FATAPAMP, FATAPAMP, and that stands for Fundamental Analysis, Technical Analysis, People, and Market Psychology. So there's 4 different data sets that I use. Fundamental analysis, technical analysis, everybody knows what they are. And then people, like an individual person, like Elon Musk, right? I'll factor in Roger Ver or Elon Musk into my analysis and say, because of this one person, their behavior, what's going on with them personally, and the news that I've read, I'm going to suggest that they might have this sort of impact on the market in the foreseeable future. And I could factor them in like I did with my longer-term Doge analysis with Elon, or my BCH trades with Roger Ver in the past. And then market psychology is also pretty obvious. You're looking at trends, overall sentiment on Twitter and other social media platforms. Market psychology can be a really helpful tool in anticipating how people will react to the market, even when considering things like inflation and whether you see inflation in other assets, if we're going to see those asset classes translate to inflation in alternative markets, whether it's commodities or cryptocurrencies. So you have to factor in everything. So I'm trying to not just focus on the technicals here, but based purely on the charts. I can't see a scenario where we dump. I'm supremely confident we're going to aggressively move up within the next 24 hours for sure, and quite possibly within the next 12 hours. That 4-hour reset has to finish, and once the 4-hour model turns bullish in the next 8 to 12 hours, 8 to 10 hours maybe, around there, that range somewhere, between 7 and 12 hours I would say, if the 4-hour model turns bullish, that should be the impetus for the breakout, because the daily is set up to really break out aggressively bullish. So we just need to get that jump start, and the 4-hour bullish reversal could jumpstart us and allow that daily model to give us that aggressively bullish trajectory. So I'm pretty darn confident, based purely on the technicals, that that's the case. However, market psychology, fundamentals, always going to come into play. So there is a possibility there could be some sort of announcement or news story that could just tank the market. And that's the thing I'm most concerned about as far as bearish potential. Purely on the technicals, I'm really liking the situation. You know what? The fact that tomorrow's Saturday, today was Friday, slow news day as it is, tomorrow being a weekend, this could be one of those weekend runs where we really start off the weekend aggressively bullish. So if I were you guys, I would keep an eye out for good trades. If you need help finding trades and you want to join my group, I would love the support. I could, obviously use the support. I want to bring in as many new people as I can. I'll drop my group info in the description. Make sure you follow me and subscribe as well. And if you want to join the group, just join the Discord server from the link in the description, and you'll see all the information you need about how to join. You could always send me a DM in Discord. I'm always available. If I'm awake, I'll respond. If you need any other information or have any questions. But hopefully you guys can make some money on this run, because I really think this could be a strong bullish pump. All right, that's a good update for now. I will follow up with everybody in the group as soon as I wake up and I start entering some short-term trades. I'll probably share some other charts before I go to bed, because I'm spotting some things I want to go over with you guys. And everybody else, stay tuned for my next public update. All right. Hopefully I'm right. I'd rather be right than wrong. Let's hope for the former. Catch you later.